guys, how you doing? Welcome back to my channel. I often get asked by people who watch my content if I could start uploading some free running tutorials, and at some point in the near future I would love to start doing that, but I thought rather than jumping in with some harder flips and tricks, it would make sense to start with a simple back flip and front flip tutorial, seeing as most of the flips we do in free running stem from one or sometimes even both of these moves. In this video we're going to focus on the back flip. Now, although there are hundreds of videos out there on the internet that can teach you how to backflip, I sometimes feel like those tutorials overcomplicate what is essentially a very basic skill. Not necessarily basic in the sense that it's easy, but in the fact that there isn't that much to it technically. So in this tutorial, I want to keep things super straightforward and just break the backflip down into 4 simple steps. Step 1 is to get used to the takeoff for the flip. As well as getting power from your legs for a backflip, you also want to be generating power by driving your arms upwards as you jump. Step 2 is a drill that will help you understand how to generate the rotation for your flip. Now, a lot of the time when people do a backflip, they think about bringing their knees into their chest. Instead of doing that, you'll get a lot more speed in your rotation if you think about bringing your knees up and over your shoulders. You can understand this feeling by doing this drill, lying on your back and pulling your knees up and over your shoulders. If you do this with enough speed, you'll notice that this sends you into a backwards roll motion. Step 3 in this tutorial requires you to have a block or something that's between waist and chest height that you can land safely onto your back on. If you're in a gymnastics gym, a block like this will work perfectly, turned on its side like this, but you might want to have someone holding the block for you just so it doesn't fall over. All you're going to do is combine steps 1 and 2, jumping upwards and driving your knees over your shoulders to land on your back. If you're doing this correctly, you should feel that your body wants to continue into a backwards roll. Step 4 is to take the block away and go for the entire move. The only thing you need to understand at this point that you haven't done already is understanding how to land on your feet, which is actually pretty important. And something you can do that will help you to understand how to do this is to use a spotting technique that will allow you to see the floor before you land on it. As you take off, you want to be spotting the floor for as long as possible, which is going to be really useful if you're ever doing a backflip off an obstacle or for when you come to learning how to do gainers, because you'll be able to see which direction you're going in before you even start going into your flip. Then, when you've rotated enough that you can no longer see the floor in front of you, you can tilt your head back and spot the landing. This means that you can actually see the floor for the majority of the flip, which means it's really easy to know where to put your feet. Now, I personally would highly recommend that if you do have a gymnastics gym that you can train in, that you prep some of these into the foam pit first before you try them on the floor. However, if you don't have a gym available to you, at least find somewhere with really soft ground, so maybe sand or some really soft grass to try these on first. So that was a very basic tutorial on how to do a back flip. Make sure you also check out my front flip tutorial if you're interested in seeing that. And if you are interested in seeing more tutorials from me in future, please let me know in the comments which moves you'd like me to break down for you. And that's it. I'll see you next time, guys. Okay, bye.